Welcome back to One Test Wonders. Rare that we see player only play one test match for their country. One of those players to only have played one test match for his country was Post Malone. I mean Mick Malone. Malone managed just to play one test match for Australia despite a bowling average of less than 25 in domestic cricket over his career, which is pretty damn good. Malone was born in Scarborough, Western Australia in 1950. He had to wait until the age of 24 for his domestic debut, but Malone impressed immediately, taking 5 wickets in his debut match, including getting Bob Baldry twice. His second first-class appearance included 7 wickets, including New South Wales captain and Australian top-order batsman Doug Walter. It is here where I'd like to have a look at his first recorded match on Cricket Archive, which was a Western Province under-23 versus Australian schoolboys. This match was held in Newland, Cape Town in 1967-68. It was a 2-day match, and the Australian schoolboys won by 25 runs. There is a severe lack of information due to, I assume, it being a very minor match, and either way, I can tell you the only information we have on Malone was that in the Western Province under-23 second innings, he took 5 wickets for 62 runs, and that the match was completed in 1 day despite being a 2-day match. Malone's first fully recorded match was against Western Province schools as the Australian schoolboys at Groot Grockenstein Cricket Club Ground, Groot Grockenstein. I hope I haven't butchered that too badly. I'm sorry for anyone from South Africa. In the first innings, Malone bowled, taking 2 for 27 off his 15 overs, including 3 catches. He was not required to bat, as the Australian schoolboys won by 9 wickets. I have already mentioned his first 2 first-class games, but we will have a quick look at them anyway, just to keep up with tradition. His first first-class game was for Western Australia against Victoria at the Wacker. He took 2 wickets in his first innings, bowling 20 overs, 2 for 67, was not required to bat, and in the second innings took 3 wickets for 43 off 15, and again was not required to bat, as Western Australia won by 5 wickets. The second match, as mentioned, was against New South Wales, also at the Wacker. In the first innings, he took 3 wickets, with wicketkeeper Rod Mars taking 6 catches. Bloody good day for the wicketkeeper, but gotta have good bowlers, like a Malone. And for once, he was actually required to bat, making 24 in his debut innings as a batsman. And in the second innings bowling, he took 4 wickets for 87 off 26, and he was not required to bat again in the second innings, as Western Australia won by a whopping 9 wickets. So his foray into first-class cricket was very good to start with. Malone's 1975-76 season was incredibly impressive. Malone had the best average of all the bowlers in the Sheffield Shield. He took 28 wickets at a pretty incredible average of 18.75. Malone was also able to contribute with the bats, scoring 33 in the Gillette Cup final. His 1976-77 season was even better, if you can believe that. Malone finished as the highest wicket taker in the Sheffield Shield again, taken 40 wickets in 8 matches. His average of 16.12 had put him in contention for the national team. Malone was voted second in the Player of the Season vote for the Sheffield Shield. Malone was playing just too well not to be included in the Test team. It turned out to be a perfect time for Malone to come to form, as he was included in the touring Australian party to England in 1977. Malone performed well with his first performance with the ball in England, taking a wicket in an ODI, but Malone was not the selector's preferred man. Australia went into the Test series with Len Pascoe being the preferred bowler over Malone, alongside Jeff Thomson and Max Walker. Pascoe bowled well in the first 4 tests, but picked up an injury, so Malone finally got his chance in a test that had no impact on the series, as England was already up 3-0. Malone strolled into the Kennington Oval and immediately made his mark. Malone took 5 wickets in England's first innings, but that's only a fraction of the story. Let me summarise what happened in that test from a book by Martin Barrowman called One Test. Malone opened the match with Jeff Thomson over the normally preferred Max Walker. Malone's first spell in Test reached 13 overs, 4 mating for 15 runs, no wickets. And that was the entire session, beside 2 overs by Ray Blight. Malone's first wicket was a nick from barely to a well-pitched outswinger, and Rod Marsh, the Australian wicketkeeper, took a good low catch down to his right. Malone had thoroughly deserved his first wicket. It had taken him until his 21st over, but in that time, he had only conceded 31 runs. But that was only the start of his performance. Malone had bowled the entire day beside the 2 overs by Ray Blight, and his figure of 5 for 53 were his just reward. And despite being a tail-ender, Malone scored a 46 to give Australia a first inning lead of 171. That was in conjunction with Max Walker, who put on a massive partnership for the 9th wicket. They had put on 100 runs in 102 minutes. But due to how slow both teams batted and the excess of rain, including the fact that the whole first day was washed out, the match ended in a draw, with Malone picking up another wicket in England's second innings. And that match is known as Malone's Test. Not bad considering he only played the 1 test. Still, it meant that Malone finished the match with stats of 6 for 77, as well as a batting average of 46, despite batting at number 10 in his only test match. Despite a humiliating 3-0 loss for the Aussies, Malone could return home happy, having made a good impression with the limited opportunity he had. But there is a but. But there was a reason why Malone and some of the other Australians were distracted during that Ashes series. Before the series started, Malone and other Australian Test players had signed a deal to join the newly created World Series Cricket. World Series Cricket was a commercial cricket competition organised by the Australian media tycoon Kerry. It was created because of the Australian Cricket Board refused to accept Packer's request for his channel to have exclusive right to Australian Test matches. Could almost see it like franchise cricket, but franchise cricket was never set up, like the IPL, never set up to be a direct competition to, say, Indian cricket or the BCCI, whereas the World Series cricket was actually a competition set up to challenge the set regimes at the time. Malone was not one of the most memorable signings of the World Series cricket. Packer was able to convince international captains like Tony Greig, Clive Lloyd, and Greg Chappell and Imran Khan to play. Malone, though, massively impressed at times in the World Series cricket, including taking 14 wickets at an average of 13 in New Zealand. But Malone left without a World Series cricket contract after the competition folded in 1979. Malone decided to move to England after the World Series cricket and play for Hagelandon Cricket Club in Lancashire League. Malone showed he was way too good for that level, taking 45 at an average of just over 10. But being so close to the club, he was signed by Lancashire. Malone ended up only playing 2 matches for them, but still took 18 wickets. Malone did end up playing more games for Lancashire, but was never included in the Australian Test team again. It was mainly due to his involvement in World Series cricket. The Australian Cricket Board was hugely critical of the World Series cricket. This is because the World Series cricket was designed to compete with the Australian cricket team, which included taking the team's captain. It meant that Malone never represented the Test team again. After some more excellent domestic form, Malone did return to the one-day team, taking 2 for 9 off his 10 overs. Malone was picked in the Test squad for the 3rd Test match in the West Indies in 1982, but was the 12th man. Malone later that year announced his retirement from all cricket. Malone had a quiet retirement outside of cricket and is currently running a real estate company in W. Malone does not have any regrets about his career, but his choice to join the World Series cricket meant he is one of the best players to have only played 1 test for his country. And while we're at it, let's have a look at some of his World Series stats. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on some incredible cricket content. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.